Hello. This video is going to look at rates, which will include representing rates, equivalent rates, and unit rates. So here we go. Um, I guess we should cover some terminology first. So a rate just means a comparison of two amounts with different units. Okay. Um, an equivalent rate would be a rate that is equal to another rate, and the unit rate basically means per one unit, and we'll cover that in a lot more detail. So here we go. Let's just look at how to use a rate table, okay, in a practical example here. So our example is Damien selling coupon books to raise money for a soccer team. A coupon booklet costs 14 bucks, or sells for 14 bucks. So after a night of selling coupon books, Damien raised $84. So how many coupon books did Damien sell? Um, well, we're going to look at it through a rate table, which is what this is. Okay. So the coupon books sold. So if you sold one coupon book, well, one coupon book costs 14 bucks. Okay. So we made 14 bucks here. Two coupon books. So we would just continue to add 14 each time. So if you do two coupon books, you get 28. You could also multiply it here by the number of your books sold. You could take the original price, which is 14 bucks, and multiply it by the number of books that you sold. Okay, so kind of like what I'm doing here. So I'll go ahead and fill the rest of these in. There we go. And as we can see, we get 4 books, 56, 5. You're just adding 14 each time, okay? And we see that to get to $84, Damien must have sold 6 coupon booklets. Okay. An alternative to this would be to say we know each book is 14 and we sold 84. So if we take 84 and then just divide it by 14, that should equal 6. Okay. So kind of two methods there. This is the dividing, and this one will be using a rate table. Okay. Okay, let's look at example number 2 here. So we're going to be talking about equivalent rates right now. And again, equivalent rate just means a rate that's equal to another rate. All right. So um, it's the same kind of concept of equivalent fractions. Um, so let's look at an example here. So a heart beats 12 times in 10 seconds. So if I've got 12 beats, excuse my writing on here, it's kind of hard to write with the mouse. 12 beats per 10 seconds. Okay. It's asking me here, what's the equivalent of that? Is it 120 beats per minute or is it 72 beats in 1 minute? All right. So how many seconds are in a minute is the first thing we got to ask, because these units are both in minutes. So we need to kind of convert that. So we know that there is 60 seconds in a minute. It's written over here just in case you need help. So 60 seconds in a minute and 60 minutes in an hour. Okay, should be common knowledge at this point. So we're at 10 seconds here. If we want to know how many beats are in 1 minute, well, we need to get this to minutes. So what number would I have to multiply 10 by to get to 60 seconds? Okay, and you should come to the conclusion that we need to multiply it by 6. Okay, and that will give us 1 minute on the bottom, or 60 seconds, right? So I'll just say 1 MIN for minute. Okay, so now we multiplied the bottom here by 6, okay, to get to 1 minute. Whatever we do to the bottom, we must do to the top, and vice versa. If we do something to the top, we must do it to the bottom. And 12 times 6, you can do it in your head with a pen and pencil, calculator, however you like, times table. But either way, if you do it correctly, what you'll find is that you will get 72 beats. Let's put B there for beats. So 72 beats per 1 minute. Okay, so the answer in this case And this is right out of your book as well, on page 139. Okay, so 12 beats per 10 seconds is equivalent to the rate of 72 beats per 1 minute. All right, well, let's move on to the next example. So B says a dance tempo has 60 beats every 30 seconds. So what is the equivalent rate that matches that? We have a choice of 120 beats per minute or 90 beats per minute. Okay, so again, we see that we need to convert from seconds to minutes. We know that there's 60 seconds in 1 minute. Okay, so we're at 30 seconds. What number do we need to times by to get to 60 seconds? Well, 30 times 2 will give us 60 seconds, which is 1 minute. Okay, so we realize that we times the bottom by 2, so we must times the top by 2. So 30 seconds times 2 gives us 1 minute, which I've done over here. And then 60 beats times 2, because we multiplied the bottom by 2, gives us 120 beats per minute. Okay, so quite simple. Let's move on. So example C says Guido can make 15 sandwiches in 10 minutes, which I've written here, SA for sandwiches. So 15 sandwiches per 10 minutes. So what is the equivalent of that? Is that 150 sandwiches an hour or 90 sandwiches in an hour? Okay, so how many minutes are in an hour? Well, there's 60 minutes in an hour. We're at 10 minutes. What do I need to multiply to get to 1 hour? We multiply by 6. Okay, so because we times the bottom one by 6, we must times the top one by 6 as well. So we're going to get 1 minute over here. 1 minute. And 15 times 6 will be 90 sandwiches. So that is an equivalent rate. Okay, it means the same thing. If you can make 90 sandwiches, sorry, that should not be minute. That should be 1 hour. My bad. So if you can make 90 sandwiches in an hour, you can make about 15 sandwiches in 10 minutes. Okay. And that last example, pretty easy one. If we have, you buy a song online from iTunes or something, and it costs $1.29. So how much is it for 10 songs? Well, you just multiply it by 10, so it will be $12.90 per 10 songs. Okay, and we'll just look at one more example now, which will talk about unit rate. So for unit rate, you would find the cost or the amount for one. Okay, so per one, or when the denominator is just one. Okay, so example, if it costs $78 for 13 sandwiches, what is the unit rate? Okay, the unit rate cost per one. So if it's $78 for 13, you're just going to divide 78 divided by 13, and you'll find that each sandwich is $13. So the unit rate is $13 per one. Let's look at another one here. If it takes 11 gallons of gas to drive 250 miles, what's the fuel economy on it? So what is the unit rate or miles per gallon? This is something that you hear about a lot. What's the gas mileage on your car type of thing. So if you reset your odometer when you fill up with gas and it takes you 11 gallons, you can calculate that. Okay, so all we do is basically say we're just dividing. Okay, so 250 divided by 11, and then we'll get 22.7 miles per gallon. And when I say miles per gallon, that means per 1 gallon. So that is a unit rate because it's per one. Okay. Final example of the video, I promise. So with this example, we have a 12-pack of Gatorade that we're going to buy for $13.44. So how much is it per bottle? Okay, how much am I saving by buying a big 12-pack of Gatorade? Okay, so all I'm doing is taking my 1344 and dividing it by the number of bottles. 1344 divided by 12 is going to give me the cost per bottle. All right, so when I work that out, you can use your calculator. It works out to $1.12 per bottle. Not a bad price. Okay, so the unit price being price per one is $1.12. And like I said, that's my last example. Come see me if you need extra help, and good luck on your quiz.